Hello everyone, myself Paula Mukana, Assistant Professor of EC Department at Engineering Institute of Engineering and Technology. Welcome to the session of Satellite Communication. In the last session we have finished unit number 8. In today's session we will start the next unit, that is Satellite Access. Now, in today's session what we will cover? We will see what is the need of multiple access, a definition of multiple access, types of multiple access like TDMA, FDMA, CDMA, and what do we mean by satellite switch TDMA. Based on that, what is onboard processing. Alright. So, first of all, before starting multiple access, we need to understand that why we require a multiple access. As we know that our radio frequency is shared by a medium, right? That means a multiple users are going to use a same frequency band, or I can say with different time slot, or we can say that each and every users are going to use a different frequency band for the same time slot, right? So how to allocate this communication channel? So we are going to use a multiple access protocols. Why? Because it governs how radio frequency mediums are going to be allocated to each channel, right? So there are two different types of allocation. First one is fixed access protocol and second one is random access protocol, in which in the fixed allocation access protocol we are pre-assigning a frequency or the time slot to a particular user, and in random access protocols we allows the user to share access based on statistically with the conflict resolution, right? So this is the requirement of multiple access. Apart from that, we have a very small frequency band, right? And multiple users are there. So what we do is, we are sharing that same frequency band by sharing with the time slot, or with each users are assigning a different frequency for the same time slot. Alright? That's why a multiple access is the ability of a large number of earth stations to simultaneously interconnect their respective voice, data, facsimile and its television links. Alright? That means we are able to communicate with the help of a large number of earth stations. They are going to communicate with each other. Alright? So, what are the basic problems which involve in sharing a frequency band? First of all, our first is satellite capacity. What does it mean? It allows the adaptability to multimedia traffic. Second, with the help of spectrum utilization, we are able to minimize the cost of my system, right? Third, satellite power. That means how my power is going to be transmitted in which amount. Alright? So it defines the user's acceptability. And the last one, that is the fourth one, is the interconnectivity, which defines how flexible my system is. Alright? So there are total 3 basic techniques. First one is FDMA, TDMA and the CDMA. Now FDMA means frequency division multiple access, TDMA means time division multiple access, and CDMA means code division multiple access. Alright? We will see all this technique one by one in this chapter. First of all, a brief introduction of FDMA, TDMA, CDMA. What does it mean? Now, FDMA stands for the frequency division multiple access, in which the channels are allocated to the non-overlapping frequency bands. That means we are assigning a different frequency to the multiple users. For example, there are three users, user A, B and C, and I have a three frequency band. So what I'm going to do is, I'm assigning a user A to a 10 kilohertz, user B to 20 kilohertz and user C to a 30 kilohertz. Alright, that means I have assigned a separate frequency band to the multiple users. That means they can transmit at their own time, but for the specific frequency band. Alright. In TDM, that means a time division multiple access, means what? In which we need to ensure that all the time slots should be a non-overlapping. What does it mean? For example, three users are there, user A, B and C. So I am assigning a same frequency to all the users. Like I am assigning a 10 kilohertz to all the users, but they need to communicate for a different time. Like user A is going to transmit a signal for a 12 AM. User B is going to transmit a signal for 12 and 5 minutes, and user C is allowed to transmit for 12-15 minutes. Alright, so I am going to assign a different time slot for multiple users in time division multiple access. Right? And the last one, that is code division multiple access, in which all the users are assigning a same frequency and same time slot, but they are going to be distinguished by a different codes. Right? That means the channels are differentiated via codes, right? So we are going to use a spread spectrum. What does it mean? That we will see in this chapter. Now, as I have told you, the frequency in FDM is going to be distributed for multiple users. So over here, this graph, it shows the on x-axis there is frequency, and the y-axis that is a time, right? That means I am going to assign a same time slot for multiple users in FDM, but all the users are going to be identified for a different frequency. Alright, now in TDM, all the users are going to be identified by different time slots, right? How? I am going to assign a same frequency. You can see over here that same frequency is going to be assigned, but they need to communicate for a different time. That means I am going to assign a time slot to each and every users. But in TDMA, the time synchronization is must. Alright? In the last, CDMA. What does it mean? CDMA stands for code division multiple access, in which all the users are going to be identified by codes. That means each and every users have a same frequency and the same time slot. Alright, see over here that each and every users are going to be identified by a same time and the same frequency, but they have a unique codes and they are decoded at the receiving side. Alright. So this is the brief introduction of FDMA, TDMA and CDMA. Alright. Now first we are focusing on the frequency division multiple access. What does it mean? As I have told you, the brief introduction of FDMA, apart from that, there are basically two types of FDMA. First one is pre-assigned FDMA. And second one is demand assigned FDMA. Now, what does it mean? In pre-assigned FDMA, I am going to assign a frequency to each and every user without getting a demand from that user, right? But in demand assign, I am only assigning a frequency to the particular user when I am getting the demand from that users. Alright, so we will see one by one pre-assign and the demand assign FDMA. So first, the multiple access techniques which is used in the satellite communication system. Alright, over here the available frequency band is going to be divided into n non-overlapping channels. Right, that means after each channel there is a small guard band to avoid overlapping. Right. Third, that I have told you already, the guard band is required to overcome the overlapping of channels or the frequency. Right? Why? Because it minimizes the interference between the channels. Alright? And the fourth, FDM, that is frequency division multiplexing, which is used to transmit data to the satellite. Alright? The main advantage of FDMA is the filter that we can use to separate each and every channels. Right? So this is the brief introduction of FDMA. Now I will explain you with the help of this diagram. These two diagram is for the two separate transponder. This is for transponder 1, this is for transponder 2. Now, you can see over here that this is in my horizontal axis, frequency is there, carrier frequency is there in megahertz. Right? So, my bandwidth of transponder is 36 megahertz. Alright? So, what we need to do is, we are assigning a specific frequency, for example 3714 megahertz to one user, 3726 megahertz to another user, and 3736 megahertz to another user. Alright? If I am going to assign a same frequency band to the another user, then I have to use a different frequency, different carrier frequency. Alright? Because my bandwidth is limited. Right? So 3759 megahertz, which is assigned to the single user, and 3771 megahertz is going to be assigned to the another user. Alright? So it is based on how much bandwidth is available and how that bandwidth is going to be divided in the frequency times frequency and how it is going to be assigned. So it is available through the frequency division multiple access. If we have a transponder bandwidth of 54 megahertz, now what we will do? In 54 megahertz, over here, the 40 kilohertz is specified for a digital speech channel. You can see over here that. But each and every channel is going to be separated by a 10 kilohertz guard band. Why? To overcome the overlapping. Alright? Now, what are the advantages of FDMA? First, if the channel is not in use, it sits as an idle. Right? Second, it is efficient when number of station is small and the traffic is uniformly constant. But if numbers of users are going to be increased, and if I have a bandwidth limit, then I am not able to assign frequency band to all the users. Alright? We don't require any timing synchronization. Why? Because all the users have the same time slot. I don't need to synchronize the time. They can transmit at their own time, but they are going to be identified by their frequency. Alright, because each and every users have a separate frequency band. Alright, and the fourth one is there is a no restriction regarding the type of baseband. That means which type of baseband I am going to use and which type of baseband I am going to use. Alright. So these are the advantages of FDM. Right. So what are the disadvantages? First, we require a guard band. That means I need to use a specific frequency gap between a two channel. That means that gap is useless for me. Alright, and it will also limits the bandwidth. Right? Second disadvantage is it requires a right RF filtering to minimize the adjacent channel interference. What does it mean? As we need to identify which frequency band is there. So we need to use RF filter to identify a specific frequency band. Apart from that, we need to minimize the adjacent channel interference. Okay. So these two are the disadvantages of FDM, right?